Some shows talk about one team. Other shows barely talk sports. This show will talk Packers, Brewers, and Bucks every day. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily with Steve Sparky Fifer, served up by Wendy's on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan. Download the Wendy's app today.
Here we go. It is a Friday edition, a football Friday edition. Steve Sparky Fifer with you. Charlie Usen back in the studio as always, back in Hales Corners. I'm out here broadcasting live from the Rally House in Wauwatosa at the Mayfair Collection. Everybody's familiar with the Mayfair Collection, right? Check 41 right there on the right-hand side as you're going by. Got all the different stores and restaurants and all that fun stuff. If you've never been to a Rally House, shame on you. Shame on you. Brewer stuff, Packer stuff, Badger stuff, you name it. I'm looking at Milwaukee Panther stuff in front of me as well. All kinds of different fun local sports apparel that you can get out here, from sweatshirts to hats to jerseys. They have everything you could possibly want. In fact, I'm looking at a Mizorowski jersey hanging up across from me on a wall. There's Yelich and Hoskins and all kinds of different jerseys. Contreras. Come on out here. Check us out at the Rally House. Oh, by the way, I don't want to forget this. You have a chance to come out here, register to win a $250 Rally House gift card today between 2 and 5. That's right. Your chance to register to win a $250 Rally House gift card. I mean, think about that for a second. If you're not being selfish, you could use this to buy Christmas presents and have it all done by just winning this gift card and be all set up before we even get to October with your holiday shopping. So come on out here, Rally House, Mayfair Collection in Tosa, and have your chance to register to win. It's a QR code. You scan the QR code, sign yourself up, and you are ready to roll. So come on out here until 5 o'clock. Today's show, oh, buddy, it's a nice show today. It's a real nice show. Former Detroit Lions offensive lineman Lomas Brown will be on the show coming up at 2:20 as we eye up the enemy, Packers and the Lions. Then at 2:40, the Gravedigger, Gilbert Brown, will be on the show at 2:40 today. So Lomas Brown and Gilbert Brown. There's a lot of beef going on there between those two dudes, right? 2:20 and 2:40. This is a show meant for Charlie. This is a big guy's first hour of the show, Charlie.
I love big dudes, man. I love it. It's awesome. The guys in the trenches, those are the dudes that you need to watch when you're watching football. That's Nick Wright was talking about how real football fans don't watch Red Zone. Real football fans watch the guys in the trenches, and that's where it starts. So you know what? We're going to learn a lot from these guys.
That's probably less than 10% of people that watch a game actually watch the offensive and defensive lines. Most people are watching the quarterback, the running back, where the ball is going, but they're not watching the center and the guards, and that's just not something that happens. But either way, so come out here, Rally House. We got that going on. Then coming up at 3:20, Andrew Wagner, our guy who you just heard with Mitch Nellis during middays with Thunder. He's on at 3:20. Get the latest on the Milwaukee Brewers. Charlie sounds today at 3:40. 4 o'clock, Green and Gold update, the latest on the Packers as we get ready with the last injury report today for the week. And at 4:20, our guy Joe Bartel with RotoWire, Fantasy Football Friday as well. At 4:20, if you got questions, concerns about your fantasy football team, hey, Charlie, I got to remind me when we get to 4:20, I did a family draft. And when the draft is done, they send you an email and they give you a grade in like a newspaper write-up of how you did in the draft. Mm-hmm. Remind me to read it. I drafted 10th out of 14 teams, and it's that snake format where, it goes back and forth and so forth. So, yeah, definitely got to get to that too. All right, first segment here on a Football Friday. I can't wait because this is something we have been doing for a while. How do I sound, Charlie? Do I sound okay? Because if not, I probably should explain why I don't sound okay.
You sound good to me right now, but just in case something does go awry.
Just in case I should say something. Yeah. Okay. So about an hour and a half, 2 hours ago, I got out of a pretty significant dental procedure on my mouth, and the left side of my face is currently numb. Can't feel anything. So if I'm, speaking differently or whatever, and you're like, what is wrong with Sparky? Like, dude's gonna fall over while he's doing the show today. That still might happen because I had high blood pressure. But otherwise, that's the deal going on. Charlie, if something happens, you just take over. and you run with the show, and everything will be fine.
I got like the whole team back here too. Mitch is still here. Tommy's still here. So we got it covered. Don't worry.
So y'all are expecting me to fall over.
No,
and that's why everybody's hanging around.
That's
what's happening.
Mitch is recording his promos like a boss.
Tommy's got to be there because he's got 4:30. Mm-hmm. He's got the leadoff show, which I'm going to co-host with him coming up today at 4:30. I'll still be out here at the Rally House. So, yeah, definitely want to stay tuned for that. All right, so Football Friday. I love Football Fridays for many different reasons. Number one, we get to talk about football all day. But also we get to do Confident, Concerned, and Curious, Charlie. Something that we have not done, obviously, since last year. You can get involved in that as well. What are you most confident in with the Packers? What are you most concerned about with the Packers? What are you curious to see from the Packers going into this game Sunday afternoon against the Lions? After that game is over on Sunday, you make the switch to the Fan. We'll be hosting the Green and Gold. Well, not the Green and Gold, the Green Bay Football postgame show myself. Tommy, we're taking your calls and all that fun stuff. Charlie, we'll start with you. Confident. What are you most confident in going into this Packers game?
I think what I'm most confident in this Packers game is that Micah Parsons is going to have at least one sack. No matter what, if he's playing in this game, even if it's in limited downs, even if it's 20 snaps a game in the game, and he's only going in obvious pass situations, I think he needs to go out there and just have that one sack, just to kind of have that breaking open of the present here for this Green Bay Packers defense, for the fan base. I'm pretty confident he's going to go out there and show us why the Packers trade for him in the very limited time that he's probably going to be out there.
You know, the other part about this is the Micah Parsons thing. You know, they're saying he's going to play, and that's why you're rolling with he's definitely going to get one sack, and that's what you're most confident in. I think what I'm going to come into this game thinking I'm going to be most confident in is that Josh Jacobs is going to get at least 20 to 25 carries in this football game, and I don't know if he'll get over 100 yards. This Lions defense isn't horrible. I think they're a pretty decent defense. Now, again, new coordinator, so we'll see how they play. But I would think Josh Jacobs gets 20 to 25 carries. And if he does that, and limits the amount of throws that Jordan Love has to make, that means a couple of things. One, that means they're not chasing because they're still handing the ball off to Josh Jacobs there in the second half, which also should mean that they have a chance to win that football game at the end behind Jordan Love's arm. And I think in that scenario, you're happy as a Packers fan. If you come out of this game and Josh Jacobs has 12 carries, you probably lost. Think that's a fair assessment, Charlie?
I think so. I think right now what we're looking for from Josh Jacobs is a more limited workload than we saw last season. We want to be able to see other aspects of this offense start to have those kind of breaking out points where Dan Orlovsky talked about how he has Jordan Love as his MVP candidate and thinks it's time for Jordan Love to take over. I think right now what we have to see is maybe not that, but maybe see the offense expand a little bit more where you are seeing Jordan Love take a few more risks that are more calculated risks, while also still getting Josh Jacobs his 18-plus carries a game. I think that's going to be a hard balance to have, especially if this game were to get out of hand or you get into a fourth quarter situation where it is a tight game and you don't want to be running the ball as much as you have been earlier in the game. But at the same time, you have to give Josh Jacobs, a guy who is a top 50 player in the NFL according to his peers, that type of love.
Yeah, Charlie Houston, Sparky Fifer with you, asking you, what are you most confident in, concerned about, and curious about? Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line 414-677-1250, 414-677-1250. Also on Twitter, of course, at The Fan Milwaukee, or join the Dugout, the YouTube chat, as we stream all of our shows live on YouTube. Search The Fan Milwaukee on YouTube, and you can join the chat, watch all of our shows streaming live. Go there. When you find our site on YouTube, you can see videos, you can see shorts, you can see all past shows right there on YouTube. So check that out today. Subscribe, follow, like, all that fun stuff that they tell you to do in every other YouTube video that you watch on YouTube. Charlie Usen, what are you most concerned about going into this game?
I'm going to stick on the defensive side of the ball, and I think this is something that, again, just is a concern throughout the preseason so far, especially with Nate Hobbs dealing with injuries going into this game, is kind of just the cornerback room in general. I know that we are not going to see a lot of Micah Parsons like we've been talking about here. Again, it's probably going to be 20 snaps in this game at most if he does end up actually playing in this game.
Right.
And if that's the case, I don't know if I trust the guys that were there last year that are still there this year on that front seven to create any more pressure than we saw last year, especially against a super strong offensive line like the Detroit Lions have going into this game. And if they aren't getting that type of pressure without a guy like Micah Parsons on that front seven, then that defensive back room is going to have a lot to handle. They're probably going to play a lot of that more safe type of zone defense that we saw last season where the cornerbacks are sitting back, not allowing big plays. But the problem is late in the season when they were still doing that style of defense and they were playing teams like the Lions, the Vikings, and the Bears that had an opportunity to play the Packers up to that point, they learned how to just slow down their offense and control the tempo of that game in order to basically make the cornerbacks completely irrelevant in those situations. And that's something that I think the Lions are probably going to go in with that mindset here without a Micah Parsons playing an entire game.
You know, the thing for me is concerned about going into this game for the Green Bay Packers is still going to be the thing that I'm always concerned about for this Packers team at the end of the day, and that is keeping Jordan Love freaking healthy, right? Not getting Jordan Love hurt like how happened last year in Brazil against the Philadelphia Eagles. That my concern is that offensive line, who have not played together because Elton Jenkins has not been there. Aaron Banks has been hurt with a back injury. He's barely been there as well. That's the left side of your line. They really have not played together the entire time of training camp or in preseason. That's concerning to me. Miscommunication, somebody shooting through a gap, and somebody gets home and knocks Jordan Love on his backside, and all of a sudden, you know, something's wrong. That's where I'm worried. I'm not necessarily as worried about the right side. Tom, Sean, Ryan, they've played together throughout, so I feel okay there. I feel okay in the middle with Elton Jenkins calling out, the pickups and what he wants the offensive lineman to do. I'm fine there. But I am concerned on the left side of that line as far as how that is going to look going forward, Charlie.
Well, and I don't really blame you. I think this is something that last season we got so comfortable with the consistency of that offensive line. Again, I keep bringing this up. There was only one game where they didn't have the same 5 starters out there throughout that season. And that one game is when Elton Jenkins moved over to center, and he did not look good at center. So I'm a little worried with you that this first game we may see some growing pains with that offensive line kind of shuffling around a little bit. I think what helps, though, is that outside of Aaron Banks, it's the same 4 other guys. It's the same guys in those in that group that are going to be out there and have that relationship together. So hopefully if Aaron Banks is healthy, then that this Packers team, the other 4 guys, can kind of pick him up a little bit here. But if he's not healthy, then you're going to have to rely on a Jordan Morgan to go into that left guard position, even though he wasn't the backup left guard in that depth chart. Or you're asking Elton Jenkins to move over in the middle of the game and then have a Sean Ryan move over to center, which is how they did have it in the depth chart. All that is just bad news for Jordan Love, no matter what, when you're shuffling mid-game as well. I think they can maybe figure it out at the beginning of the game, but if you have to shuffle later on, then I'm going to be a little worried.
That's absolutely right. Q in the dugout YouTube chat says, I'm most concerned that Matt LaFleur has no idea how to game plan against the new coordinators that the Lions hire. Historically, Matt LaFleur does terrible against the unknown. I guess I'm not familiar with his history against new coordinators necessarily, but there is definitely an unknown with a new offensive coordinator for the Lions and a new defensive coordinator. But I'll tell you this much, I feel a lot better going against Jared Goff with a new offensive coordinator not named Ben Johnson at this point. I feel much more comfortable about that. You know, do you like going against Jahmyr Gibbs? No, not really. I'm not looking forward to Jahmyr Gibbs. I'm not looking forward to Amon St. Brown. I'm not looking forward to Matt LaPorta. Not Matt LaPorta.
Sam LaPorta.
Yeah, Matt LaPorta is a bust of a pick that the Brewers sent in the CC Sabathia trade. Sam LaPorta. No, I'm not looking forward to facing that offense. No, not at all. And we'll make our predictions later in the show. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I'm overly confident that they're going to win this football game. But if we're talking about concerns, Jordan Love's long-term health is my biggest concern throughout the year. Let's keep him upright for 17 games, see what this team looks like, see how good Jordan Love can be at the end of the day. Don't forget, we're out here at Rally House. Your chance to register to win a $250 gift card. All you got to do is come up here to the table, scan your QR code, and you have a chance to win a $250 gift card out here to Rally House in Tosa at the Mayfair Collection. Think about it. You can take care of your holiday shopping by just simply having a chance to win a gift card. And if you win it, man, you are good to go. All right, last one. What are you curious about before we get to Lomas Brown, the former Lions offensive lineman, coming up at 2:20? Then Gilbert Brown, the Gravedigger, joins us at 2:40. What say you, Charlie?
I don't think I was really confident in a lot of things. I don't really think I was concerned in a lot of things. I think I'm curious in a lot of things about this team going into week 1 here. I think the one thing I'm most curious about, though, is kind of the thing that I think a lot of people are curious about, which is Matthew Golden going to be the wide receiver 1 from day 1 from this week 1? And I want to see that how they use him in that offense. If it feels like last season when they used Jaden Reed for the first 4 weeks of the season, kind of in that scat back opportunity where they were doing a lot of the end arounds, a lot of short yardage pass, screen passes over to him. If they are running an offense like that with a Matthew Golden, or just a more specialized offense with a Matthew Golden. I guess I'm curious to see if that is something that is going to be able to stick around for the majority of the season, after seeing what happened with Jaden Reed last year, where after those first 4 games of the season, it kind of felt like they just moved on to the next star wide receiver in that room, or made a different wide receiver the star in that room, because teams were starting to figure out a little bit. I want to see, is Matthew Golden going to be the guy from day one? Is he going to have that Jaden Reed type impact immediately, like we saw last season from him? And then B, is that going to continue on throughout the majority of the season?
I think the key thing I'm most curious to see is how much are they actually going to use the 2 tight end set that I've been begging them to use, but we can't get Luke Musgrave to stay healthy. Now that he's actually going to be out there, Tucker Kraft is going to be out there. How much will they use the 2 tight end set? How much will they utilize throwing the ball to Musgrave? And then what does that do to create openings for the rest of the offense? Because back in the day, I'm going to be old guy. I'm going to go back in the day. Back when you had Keith Jackson and Mark Chmura, you had those guys. Now, they're not Tucker Kraft and Luke Musgrave necessarily, but Keith Jackson was a very, very athletic tight end. I think Chmura was an underrated athletic tight end as well. They utilized it very well, and that is something that you would like to see the Green Bay Packers do the same type of way. I always bring up the Patriots situation, right, with the serial killer, Aaron Hernandez, and Gronkowski. That's how they were playing those 2 guys when they were young. Belichick was using both of those guys to destroy opposing defenses, because he never really had that great wide receiver. Back in the day, you had like Troy Brown and all these little dudes that were quick, but never really had anybody dominant until he got Randy Moss later on. So I'm hoping that's what we see from the Packers. I'm hoping and curious to see if we see a lot more play action pass out of the Green Bay Packers. I want to see that as well. Sparky with you, Charlie Usen back there in Hales Corners. We're at Rally House in Tosa as part of the Mayfair collection. Your chance to register to win a $250 gift card to Rally House. Just scan the QR code and you are on your way to getting a chance at winning that $250 gift card. Come on out, say hi out here till 5 o'clock. Packer stuff, Badger stuff, Brewer stuff, you name the local sports team, they've got it here at Rally House. A beautiful store, very friendly and fun people to hang out with here at the store. Come hang out with us this afternoon. Coming up next, Lomas Brown, former Detroit Lions offensive lineman and announcer for the Lions. He's coming up next. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's, live from the Potawatomi Sportsbook Studios. No, that's not right. Live from the 1250 AM 105.7 FM, the Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Right now, time for your fan weather forecast. 60 degrees here in Tosa with a low of 44 tonight. That's not nice. I am not a loser. I'm at Rally House in Tosa at the Mayfair Collection. Your chance to register to win a $250 Rally House gift card. People, a $250 gift card to Rally House. It's free, doesn't cost nothing. All you do is scan a QR code here on my table, and you have a chance to win. And if you win, you could, buy all your holiday presents and not have to worry about it. The $250 in Rally House merchandise here, that's pretty good. Scan the QR code, and you are on your way to a $250 gift card if you win. So scan that QR code out here in Tosa at Rally House. If you want a chance to win that gift card, make sure to do that. We're going to be joined by Lomas Brown here coming up in a couple of minutes. Hopefully, Charlie's trying to get a hold of him. I texted him, so hopefully one way or the other, we'll get Lomas Brown on. Let's talk a little bit about our fine folks at Wendy's. And they do an amazing job, obviously, with their Frosties and everything else. But they also have Frosty Swirls. They got Frosty Fusions going on. If you love Wendy's classic chocolate vanilla Frosty flavors, there's some big news. They're all new Frosty Swirls and now Frosty Fusions. It's the same creamy treat that you've always loved. And make sure to try it out today. So what are the new flavors? Okay, we've got the Frosty Swirls, strawberry, brownie batter, and caramel, and the Frosty Fusions, Oreo brownie, caramel crunch, and Pop-Tart strawberry. So clock in for sweet treat time with Wendy's all-new Frosty flavors, a refresh on a classic. It's gotta be Wendy's. Okay, so this game coming up here, Packers and the Lions. I am really interested in seeing what Lomas Brown and Gilbert Brown, because Gilbert Brown's coming up at 2:40, the Gravedigger, really want to see what the deal is with their thoughts in Detroit on Micah Parsons coming to the Green Bay Packers. Last night, I was on the ticket with Mark Ryan, who is a host in Detroit on the ticket, and he used to be on the Infinity Sports Network here on the Fan. You would hear him on the weekends and stuff. And we were talking about that, and I was venting to him, Charlie. I was venting to him, Charlie, about my thoughts on the praising that Dan Campbell was doing of Lambeau Field and the Packers organization and all that fun stuff. Joining us now, he is the guy, former Detroit Lions offensive lineman. He is Lomas Brown. Follow him on Twitter at Lomas Brown 75, joining us here on the Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law. Lomas, thanks for coming on, man. Appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for having me. Yes, sir.
All right. Now you're an old school guy, so you could tell me I'm nuts, and if that's the case, I'm fine with that. But man, I used to hang out with, Gary Ellerson was on my show with me, and he played in the 80s against Ditka and the Bears, and Forrest Gregg was his coach with the Packers. Man, Dan Campbell getting up there and talking about how he loves Lambeau and the tradition, and players would want to play there, and just heaping all this praise on the week you're playing them, week one. It's your division rival, man. This is the team you're dealing with to try and win this division. Like, I can't even imagine a coach saying that about another rival team like the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers. I don't know, man. It was weird to me.
Well, that's just the psyche of Dan Campbell. I mean, he is a guy that has played there, so he knows the mystique that Lambeau carries. And I kind of call it like when you go to Canton, Ohio, when you go to the Hall of Fame. That's hallowed ground up there in Green Bay at Lambeau Field. Man, think about it. The trophy's named after your coach, Curly Lambeau. I mean, it's just unbelievable, the tradition, the Hall of Famers, the great, great legendary players that you guys have had come through there, and it's the same stadium. So, yes, it does carry this sort of mystique to it, and he's just trying to prepare his young team, especially this team coming into 2025, that it's going to be a challenge to go there and play on Sunday afternoon.
The other thing about this is this Micah Parsons addition and how that factors into the Detroit Lions. Because, again, say what you want, but there has to be something to game planning and changing game planning when a guy like Micah Parsons ends up on the team you're playing in week one.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, without a doubt. Look, I mean, I've heard all the hype and a lot of people saying that this pushes the Packers to the Super Bowl. I don't know if I'll go that far, but I know one thing, it's going to make that defense he's going to make that defense damn much better just because of him his versatility, where you can line this guy up. He's a disruptor. You know, all the things that he brings, and what else he does is he's going to help elevate the guys around him. So those guys around him are going to play better. They're going to feel that juice from Michael Parsons. So it was a great pickup for the Green Bay Packers. It could be similar to the Reggie White pickup back in the day when I was back there, how symbolic and how big that pickup was. So only time will tell. But, you know, in Penei Sewell and Taylor Decker, I trust. So I'm good with my linemen that have to go up against him.
It's funny you bring that up because I've got Gilbert Brown coming up in the next segment. And we're going to talk to the Gravedigger about that Reggie White impact and how that. Go ahead.
Please tell him I say hello. That is my guy right there, Gilbert Brown. Yes, sir.
He's still living in the D, man. He's still there. He drives from Detroit back to Wisconsin all the time to do stuff, man. He's right there in your backyard. He's right there, man. Absolutely. Hey, Lomas, so when you look at the Green Bay Packers from the offensive perspective, what do you make of Jordan Love after 2 years as a starter? I saw Dan Orlovsky, former Lion on ESPN, saying that Love is his MVP pick this year. I'm a Packers fan. I thought that was a big reach at this point based on what we've seen in 2 years.
Yeah, I'm with you 100% on that, and we know how Orlovsky can get. But for me, I just think Jordan Love needs to take that next step. And whatever that next step is, whether it's, like you said, that how he ended the season with 7 straight games without an interception, or, you know, how he was lighting it up over the last part of the season. You know, I know the first part of the season was a little shaky for him. He went through a spell where he was turning the ball over with, or he wasn't making the smart decisions. And that maybe those are the things that he has to improve on to go to that next level. But to me, he has to take that next step. If you think about what Green Bay has done, which you know, okay, you got your Michael Parsons. You brought in the Matthew Golden as a wide receiver that you picked in the first round to bring in. We know about all the other receivers that he's surrounded by. By the way, you got Josh Jacobs, one of the best running backs in the league back there. And then, by the way, you move Elton Jenkins into center position to strengthen your offensive line. So they've done everything around him to make sure that he's going to have success and that he can take that step to the next level. The only way they get into that to the Super Bowl is if he does take that next step. So whatever that next step is in Green Bay Packers, you know, in the fans and in the personnel's eyes, whatever that next step is for Jordan Love, he has to be able to take it this year.
Talking with Lomas Brown, former Detroit Lions offensive lineman. Lomas Brown, 75 on Twitter or X, whatever we call it nowadays. Be sure to check him out. Love me some Lomas Brown. They are blessed to have him in Detroit. I could talk to you every day, man. I'd do a show with you tomorrow if you want to do a show with me. Lomas, this is the other thing, too. So this offensive line situation for the Packers is an interesting one, right? Because they give all this money to Zach Tom at right tackle, fine. Elton Jenkins has a couple years left at center. He wants, I think, more money because originally he was a guard. He knows centers are going to make less. And now left tackle, Rasheed Walker is going into the last year of his deal. Now, Rasheed Walker hasn't been Pro Bowl, but I don't think Rasheed Walker has been horrible. Well, then they also draft Jordan Morgan in the first round last year, and he was up and down and banged up and hurt as well. So the depth chart says Rasheed Walker is starting at left tackle. But they have also insinuated that they're not scared to rotate offensive linemen in and out. I would love to know your thoughts on rotating left tackles in and out of a game.
Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that at all unless the guy's just truly, truly struggling. Then you pull them. You don't rotate them. You pull them. But unless he's just truly struggling where, you know, he's basically giving up sacks and he's putting your quarterback in harm's way, I don't like rotating my linemen like that. I think you could get away with it more so at inside position, meaning the guard and the center position, because if you think about it, those guys have help next to them, whether it's the guard, whether it's the center next to them or the tackle next to the guard, and the center has 2 guards next to him. So they have a little help. That tackle position is basically you, and if you get beat, it's the next stop is him hitting the quarterback. So to me, unless my tackle, like I said, is really getting beat and it's just sack after sack, pressure after pressure, hit after hit on almost every drop back, then no, I don't like rotating my, especially my tackles. I don't like rotating my offensive linemen.
All right, I want to go behind enemy lines now with Lomas Brown. I mean, you're the analyst, so you do the games, all that fun stuff. I've been saying all offseason, losing Ben Johnson, there's going to have to be a step back at some point with this offense. And I don't know how much of, maybe it's a half a step. I don't know. Defensively, I don't know how much of a step back there is with Aaron Glenn. But as a Packers fan, this gives me hope that maybe you all come back to the pack a little bit.
Yeah, so what I'll say, my sense of comfort with with John Morton being the offensive coordinator now, is that Jared Goff has been saying all season that we, meaning the media, is making a bigger deal out of Ben Johnson being gone and us making that switch. Jared, every time he's been asked that, it's us making a big deal out of it. So now I have this sense of comfort that Jared is comfortable with John Morton, and that the offense just steady click like it's been clicking. So, in Jared I trust. So I'm trusting
Lomas,
that he knows what he's talking about.
Now hold on, man. Come on, you played, man. An offensive coordinator and a quarterback. Anybody, I'm not saying anybody can be an offensive coordinator, but if you take a wide receivers coach and go, okay, you're an offensive coordinator. Okay, he's got the title. Or a running backs coach, an offensive line coach, fine. But the art that makes a great offensive coordinator is calling plays, structuring the calling of plays, setting up something for later, and being on the same page and building. We don't know that yet about John Morton, do we?
I agree 110% with you when you're saying what the offensive coordinator's responsibility is. You're right. And that's his responsibility, not just to the quarterback, but to those other 10 guys on the offensive side of the ball. So you're absolutely right. The other thing that gives me comfort in it is that really, if you think about this, it's really Dan Campbell's offense. Because don't forget, Dan Campbell fired Anthony Lynn years ago.
Yep.
He brought up, he ran the offense the rest of that year, and then he brought up Ben Johnson, who was, I think, either quarterback coach or I can't remember the position he was in. So really, Ben came into Dan Campbell's offense, and of course, he found his creative niche and did all these creative things. But we still got the linchpin of that offense, which is Dan Campbell. So those are the things that kind of help me feel a lot more comfortable about the switch at our OC and our DC. But you're right. I think it's going to be a few bumps. But like I say, Jared Goff has reassured me that we're making a bigger deal out of it than it has to be.
That's good. I'm going to keep this sound clip of Jared Goff reassuring everybody it's all right. And then next time you and I talk before the next Packer game at Thanksgiving, we can play that back and go, okay, was he right or was he wrong on this deal? All right, prediction time. Now, I know you're an analyst for the Lions, so this may be one-sided, but I'm going to ask you anyhow. Prediction time. What say you going into Lambeau in week 1?
So I'm going to be so honest with you guys. I don't know. I'm telling you, because I haven't seen these guys in 2025 because nobody plays in the preseason. Right. I know we got an abundance of young talent that's ready to come along. So I'm going to say it's going to be a closer game. I think we pull away by 7 points. So I'm going to go 20-27 type of game at Lambeau Field. But I think it's going to be a little closer than people think because – we don't know what to expect here. And like you said, you're getting a glimpse.
Wait. People think you're talking about Detroit people. So Detroit fans are talking like they're going to blow the Packers out at Lambeau. Is that what you're saying, Lomas? Is that what you're saying? That's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like.
Hey, look, we're poking our chest out a little bit around here. We got a team, man. We don't know how to act now. We've had this great team the last couple of years, so we get a chance to poke our chest out a little bit. We want to do that, you know?
I like Dan Campbell, Lomas Brown, but he ain't no Wayne Fonts with that cigar, man. I'm just saying. He ain't no Wayne Fonts. Lomas, thanks so much for coming on, man. I appreciate you.
Absolutely. Take care.
Take care. There he is, Lomas Brown on the Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. Let's go back to Charlie Usen. Charlie Usen, who is Wayne Fonts?
No idea, dude.
I knew it.
That's crazy.
I knew I was safe asking that because you had no reaction. He laughed, obviously, but you had no idea who I was talking about. Lomas Brown, as always, coming on is always fun, always enjoy. Coming up next, another guy I enjoy, another guy that makes me laugh, the Gravedigger, Gilbert Brown. You do know who that is.
I do know who that is, yes.
We've
talked to him a few times.
Yeah, you know who that is. Gilbert Brown joins us coming up next. Don't forget Potawatomi Sportsbook. They'll get you to and from every Brewers game. They got their shuttle service going now. They just started it, in the last month or so. You can park right there at the Potawatomi Hotel Casino in the parking complex. Now, how do you get on the shuttle? What qualifies you get on the shuttle? Same game day wager, or you can also make a purchase at the Potawatomi Sportsbook kitchen. Either way works, and you're free to go on the shuttle. It starts 1 hour before the game. It ends 1 hour after every Brewers home game. So make sure to catch the shuttles at our favorite place, the Potawatomi Sportsbook, Potawatomi Hotel Casino. Go to Potawatomi.com/sportsbook to get more details on the shuttles. Again, Potawatomi.com/sportsbook. Gilbert Brown up next. Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's, broadcasting live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, the Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, out here at Rally House in Tosa at the Mayfair Collection. Come on out. You got a chance to win a $250 Rally House gift card. Welcome in, Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's out here at Rally House in Tosa. Mayfair Collection, come on out. You can't miss us. You got the fan, what would you call that? What do you call it, flag? The fan flag right outside in front of the Rally House. If you're going through the parking lot, you'll see the fan flag out there. Come on inside. We got the relief pitcher shirts we're giving away. Got the stress balls we're giving away as well. And your chance to register to win a $250 Rally House gift card. I've already had several people signing up and scanning that QR code. Don't be left behind. Again, a $250 gift card to Rally House. You can take care of a good portion, if not all, of your holiday shopping right here before we even get to October. Joining us now, my guy, the Gravedigger, Gilbert Brown, the Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law. Gilbert, thanks for coming on, man. How are you?
I'm good, brother. How you doing?
Doing good, man. Last segment, I had Lomas Brown on before I had you on, and Lomas was like, man, that's my dog. That's my guy. I said, you do know he lives in Detroit where you live. Like, y'all can hook up and hang out and do all that thing. I don't know if you hang out with former Lion players, though.
Nah, I'll wait till after next week.
Yes, I understand. I wanted Lomas on to talk about, how things change when somebody gets a pass rusher the way that Micah Parsons has been. First 4 years, him and Reggie, the only ones to have 12 or more sacks, first 4 years in the league. I wanted to get you on to talk about the Lions game, but, the effect. Not saying he's Reggie White, but when you have a game-changing pass rusher like Micah Parsons is, this changes everything for this Packers defense.
Oh, absolutely, because now you got to figure out, okay, if we slide to Micah Parsons, then Gary's going to just have a field day. If we slide to Gary, then we got another problem. So what are you going to do when Micah Parsons and company come down on you? What you going to do?
Cry. That's what you're going to do because they're going to have some problems. And that doesn't even bring up Edgerrin Cooper, that young stud rookie linebacker that last year, Gilbert, that's super athletic. And they've said, all offseason, not knowing they were going to get Micah Parsons, that they want to get home with 4 and not have to blitz as much to get home. But you saw Dallas. They moved Micah Parsons up and down that line of scrimmage. Would you assume Green Bay tries to do the same thing?
When you say up and down, I don't see him getting in there inside on that 3-technique center combo. But pass rush, absolutely. Absolutely. And here's the thing now. That middle linebacker was great because he had Kenny Clark in front of him. Now we got to see what he's going to do with the starting lineup that we're going to put forth out there against Detroit.
How does the dominant pass rusher help you inside? Does he?
He don't help. If I'm the guy in the middle, he don't help me at all. No, absolutely not. Now, for us, the inside guy has to set the point. That we are helping them out because if we keep that quarterback in the pocket, that's a sack for them. So they need us to do our job. We don't need them to do their job. They need us to do our job.
Talking with Gilbert Brown, the Gravedigger, Packer Hall of Famer. Follow him on Twitter at Gilbert Brown. Joins us here, Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's on the Fan. Sparky with you. Okay, let's talk more about this Packers defense. Rashawn Gary has never, not one time, registered double-digit sacks in a season. By adding Micah Parsons, do you think he finally gets that accomplished?
I believe so. I mean, you got to have 2 complement players, you know what I'm saying? And everybody knows that because that brings more pressure on that offensive line. We got a good defensive line, but that's good against the pass. I need to figure out what we're going to do against the run. That's the main thing.
What about that? A lot of talk in Dallas. Well, Micah Parsons, he can't stop the run. And, he's great to get to the quarterback, but he can't stop the run. You pay him all this money, $47 million a year. Does it really matter that much to the Packers how he plays against the run? Because aren't you paying him to get the quarterback, Gilbert?
Yeah, he's a pass rusher, no doubt. He that's his job. It's kind of like back when Kabir Bajabia Miller was playing. he was a straight pass rusher because if you get a big hog in front of him, he's going to have problems.
and not taking nothing away from Kabir. That's what it's just a vice versa. I am not a pass rusher. I am a run stuffer. There's differences in the game where they all have to coincide and work, and that's where your linebackers got to pick up the slot.
The secondary loses Jair Alexander in the offseason. They decided to part ways with Jair. He goes to Baltimore. They pick up Hobbs from the Raiders, who has been hurt the entire camp, but we'll see if he's able to go coming up here in week 1. What do you make of the cornerback situation? I think everybody agrees the safety situation is good. Xavier McKinney was a stud last year, the free agent that they got from the Giants. The cornerback situation, Keyshawn Nixon, Carrington Valentine, Hobbs, Javon Bullard probably is going to play some nickel corner like he did last year. How confident are you in that group?
I think I'm pretty confident. I mean, you know, we got some guys on the shelf that can come up and help out. We're going to find out real fast because everybody's going to test those guys. But It don't make no difference if your big boys up front is kicking tail. It don't matter because if the quarterback can't throw, we win.
That's right. And that's exactly right. And that's what I've been saying, the same thing. If you get to the quarterback more than you did last year and don't give him a lot of time and takes pressure off the corners. Time with Gilbert Brown, the Gravedigger, here on Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's out here at Rally House in Tosa. Come on out, say hi, register to win a $250 Rally House gift card. Offensive side of the ball, you've seen Jordan Love now for 2 years. What do you expect in year 3? I brought this up to Lomas Brown. Dan Orlovsky, former Lions quarterback in ESPN, said he's picking Jordan Love to win MVP. For me, that feels like a reach.
You know what? I really love Jordan Love's game. I really love how he takes control when he gets out there. Orlovsky, whoever he is, he's a quarterback, so the quarterback's going to stick together. Yeah. But I'm going to just say a bold statement right now. If Love play all the games and be healthy, Super Bowl, baby. Super Bowl.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's fair.
I'm calling it out.
Yeah. No, I don't think that's bold. I think you're in a majority, Gilbert. I don't think it's that bold. I think a lot of Packer fans feel the same way. After they got Micah Parsons, I think most Packer fans said, okay, now we're right there with Philadelphia. Now let's see what happens if they get Philly in, say, a conference championship game. Now, Lions fans are saying, Micah Parsons, that's still not good enough to beat us in the division. That's where the Lions fans are. But I think most Packer fans right now are looking at this team and going, yeah, this team can go to a Super Bowl.
Absolutely. I mean, look at our offense, man. We got an upfield threat now. We got a dog run game. Offensive line is looking pretty good. I really do. I don't see nobody in Detroit. They're nothing. They are a bowl of kitty litter. I don't care about Detroit. All I know is that once we get on that field and we take it like we own it, we win, period.
You like the idea of facing a rival like this right away, first week of the season, or would you prefer to wait till later?
No. Bring them on right now just so we can test ourselves, just to make sure we are who we think we are. We got to go against the best. That's the only way you're going to find out how good you are. Going against the best, figuring out who's king, and we're going to own that North this year.
I love it. There he is, Gilbert Brown. Follow him on Twitter at Gilbert Brown. How's that beer going, man? Is that beer selling well? How's the beer going?
Man, beer's top shelf. Hey, I'm going to have some bourbon coming out pretty soon.
Get out of here.
Some bourbon coming out. And also, if y'all come down to the game, and Dudes has got a new spot called the Commons area. Come holler at your boys on Armed Forces Way.
Armed Forces Way. Now, the name of your beer is Killer Kolsch. That's the name of your beer, right?
Killer Kolsch. It's the killer, baby.
Right. And I'm on the Zoom here, so I'm putting up a picture right there. If you're on YouTube streaming, you can see the picture of the can, and it's brought to you by Torzala Brewing Company. And Ellerson has his own beer too. And I will tell you, you know who. I will tell you, Kay's mom wanted to go buy some of. Kay's mom wanted to go buy some of that Gary Ellerson beer and bring it to Minnesota for a family reunion.
Wait.
I'm telling you, man. Just saying.
Wait. Sparky, first of all, you cannot pub my beer and then pub that do
It's the same.
here? Are you
It's the
kidding
same
me?
brewery. You're both Torzala. It's
No,
the
it
same
ain't.
company.
No, it ain't.
Oh.
It is not the same. Mine's is top notch, top shelf. His is way on the bottom in the back somewhere.
Okay. Well, he doesn't have his own bourbon. So tell me about the bourbon.
The bourbon is gonna be. It's the Gravedigger bourbon, baby. It's from. Can I say it? Jay Henry is gonna make it.
Woo! Really?
A Wisconsin staple. And we're going to blow everybody out the wall. I'm looking for Leroy. I'm looking for Woodson. And tight jeans, too, if he wants some.
I'm telling you, I'm in on bourbon, man. That is good stuff there. And unlike Leroy, you'll actually know what it tastes like.
Yeah, there you go. Is it Leroy or Leroy? Which one is it?
I don't know. It depends who you have on the radio with him. It all depends on who calls him Leroy or Leroy. I call him Leroy, but you call him Leroy. Gary calls him Leroy. I don't know. Some people call him Roy.
We call him Leroy.
Yeah, people call him Roy Lee. Really get it all confused and backwards? I have no idea, man. 36.
You know he trying to be French all the time. You know how he is.
Well, after he got in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, then it really upped his game even more.
Hey, hey, that gold jacket change you, babe.
It will, but it'll also increase the value of how much you can charge to go do those autograph sessions too, Gilbert, now.
You get a red carpet treatment when you get that gold jacket on, babe.
That's right. He is Gilbert Brown, the Gravedigger. I love him so much. Follow him on Twitter at Gilbert Brown. Watch out for that bourbon coming out for Gilbert Brown, too. Gilbert, thanks for coming on, man. I appreciate you.
Thank you, sir.
Take care. There he is, Gilbert Brown, the Gravedigger, joining us on the Fangas Hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that is all. Out here at Rally House is the one and only Niche Thunder Nellis. And I believe, I might be wrong on this, but I think I'm right on this. I believe this is the first time that I have been on location, Charlie, while Thunder has been here. He's wearing a god-awful sweatshirt. But it's the first time that Thunder has been here not wearing the color purple. I think every other time never mind.
He's still wearing purple?
He's got purple shoes on. Damn. I thought, oh, man, he's actually not wearing purple today. And Jack's like pointing at his shoes. No, he's got purple shoes on. So he's still got the purple on.
Of course he does.
He is. He's Mr.
It's
Purple.
a staple.
Mitch Thunder Nellis. Middays with Thunder. Again, all next week. We do it all over again from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. He joins Mason Crosby's show from 10 to 11 as well. My thanks to him for coming on out too. Let me tell you more about Wendy's, and how about Wednesday, the meal of misfortune devised by Wednesday Addams is available now at Wendy's, where you must surrender to your fate. It comes with rest in 10-piece nugs, small cursed and crispy fries, and a small Raven's Blood Frosty, and of course, 2 of 4 mysterious dips of dread to up the torment. In Wednesday's words, it's pure torture and tribute to the suffering that awaits us all from the dips of dread. And the best part is you never know what you'll get, each uniquely insufferable in its own torturous way. It's got to be Wendy's. Watch Wednesday Season 2 only on Netflix, available for a limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's while supplies last. All right, take a quick time out. Come back on the other side. And we'll talk a little bit about the upcoming NFL season, because we have not made any predictions of any sort to this point. So we'll do some of that. Talk about last night's Cowboys game as well. Plus, Andrew Wagner will join us. Forbes Sports Brewers Right. We'll go inside the clubhouse, brought to you by Focus Baseball, coming up at 3:20. Charlie Sound today at 3:40. Green and Gold update at 4. And then fantasy football with Joe Bartel from RotoWire's Fantasy Sports. Get your questions in for Joe Bartel coming up at 4:20. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's, live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, out here at Rally House in Tosa at the Mayfair Collection. Your chance to come out, register to win a $250 Rally House gift card today until 5.